have the train pulling into the station now. This is the waiting area to board the train. Once everyone has disembarked, they then let everyone to jump on. Pretty standard. I will say though, however, there are different train cars that come through here. So as you can see, these have benches that face forward, so you're following the path of the train itself. However, there are other cars where the benches only face one side and they're facing outward, so you're sitting facing the side of the train car for the entirety of the ride. And today we will have these with the benches facing forward. Jump in on here. We're going to sit at the end so we can catch a glimpse of some of the work that's being done throughout Disneyland Park. And the right-hand side typically gives you more of a view of the different things, just based on the direction that the train goes.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. Please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times. Parents, please supervise your children, making sure they're in their seats and away from train openings. Next stop is Mickey's Toontown Depot. Be advised, the New Orleans Square station is closed. Please make sure all little ones are fully seated either on a line or on the bench.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the primeval world and the age of the dinosaurs before returning to Main Street Station. As we begin our journey, remember that for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your children.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Our first stop is New Orleans Square Station. But to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there. Literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. Just ahead is New Orleans Square Station. This station also serves Frontierland and Critter Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step as you're getting off. For those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment. This is New Orleans Square Station, New Orleans Square.
Please remain seated even after the train has come to a complete stop. New Orleans Square Station is closed. Nobody can get on or off here. We will be on our way to Mickey's Toontown Depot shortly.
So this station is currently closed because of all of the work they're doing for Haunted Mansion, Critter Country, and Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So with all those three major constructions going on right now, you aren't able to board or disembark the Disneyland Railroad. What they've been doing in the meantime is using this to refill the steam engine with water.
Please supervise your children, making sure they're in their seats and away from train openings. Next stop, Mickey's Toontown Depot.
Our train today is pretty full. We did not need to refuel with water. So it's just a brief pause for the train. And we're continuing on to Mickey's Toontown.
To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
We're We're now entering the bayou, soon to be home to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Princess Tiana swears there's magic out here, and wherever there's magic, there's bound to be surprises. Blue skies and sunshine guaranteed. Speaking of surprises, this place we're passing over is chock full of them. Here in Critter Country, you can join Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, and other beloved critters on fun-filled adventures where anything can happen. As we steam past Hungry Bear Restaurant, the last outpost in these parts, we're now joining up with the rivers of America and entering the frontier as it looked more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see. There is the revered Indian shaman sharing his stories with those in the great river valley below. People like you have been riding these rails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams and the stories that went with them were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable, like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness. Tunnel signals our transition from the frontier to another kind of pier, the ones you'll find on Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Toontown Depot, official train station for Mickey's Toontown, the cartoon home where Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends live. Toontown Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories. If you're leaving us here, please wait until the train comes to a full stop. Remember,
Please remain seated until the train comes to a full stop. This is Toontown Depot. You're still following Toontown, Fantasyland, and the Pixar Film Playtime Party. Please remain seated until the train stops. Thank you. Keeping your hands on the train at all times. Making sure they're in their seat when the train opening. Next stop, Tomorrowland Station.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain.
Please don't grab the plants.
We're now steaming forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and, if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere. Gliding
Please, little ones cannot be on the outside.
Just want to be the center of attention.
and us are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astroblasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future. For the rest of you, just sit tight. We'll be on our way again in just a minute.
Please remain seated until the train has come to a full stop at the station. This is Tomorrowland, your stop for Autopia, Space Mountain, Landmark Tomorrowland, and the Disneyland monorail. Please remain seated. The train is coming to a stop. Thanks. Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. Please remain seated. Keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs above the train at all times. Parents, please supervise your children. Making sure they are in their seats and aware from the train openings. Next stop is Main Street. Be advised, New Orleans Square Station is closed. Main Street will be your stop.
We're going bye-bye.
Adventureland, Frontierland is here. New Orleans.
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Y por favor, no tome fotografías con flash.
That was the Grand Canyon as we know it today. But it wasn't always this way. Now, let's travel back in time, way back in time, to the fantastic past of the primeval world. If you're leaving us here, stay in your seat until we come to a full stop. Remember?
Good job. You can stay. You're such a big girl. Oh, Jasmine was crying too? No. I don't know. She started crying when we went outside. Yeah. One more. You did so good today. One day after the project, right at the beginning of the park, when we go out, I think it's just a sauce. I think this makes you really
Your attention.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Last call for the Disneyland Limited. Now leaving for a complete trip around Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom through the Grand Canyon and Primeval World. Stops at Frontierland, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland.